I'm Amanda Glassner, Deputy Editor at Cybercrime magazine, and you're watching the Spring 2026 Women in Cybersecurity Report. Joining me today is Wendi Whitmore, Chief Security Intelligence Officer at Palo Alto Networks. Wendi, welcome.
Thanks, Amanda. Happy to be here today.
We are recording this interview shortly after the 2026 RSA Conference. So to start off, I'd like to ask you how you see the current state of women in cybersecurity, and did your experience at this year's conference reinforce or challenge that perspective?
Yeah, I left RSA, I think, feeling pretty encouraged. I saw a tremendous amount of women that were in really high visibility roles and positions. So not just senior leadership roles, all levels throughout the organization, right? Engineers, developers, recruiters, consultants, delivery leaders. And I don't think that women are a side conversation, if you will, as part of the industry anymore, but really a core pillar, as part of the different types of skills and backgrounds and perspectives that people are coming from, really help strengthen the industry overall. And I'm encouraged because I'm seeing more of that.
Now, an ISC Squared study recently released on International Women's Day last month found that 3/4 of women working in security say they feel comfortable in the field, but are still more likely to be laid off and face persistent challenges around career advancement. Of more than 2,600 women that were surveyed, 1/3 said pay or promotion inequity was holding them back, contributing to their likelihood of facing layoffs. However, job satisfaction increased from 67% to 71% in the last 12 months. Wendi, as someone with such vast experience in this industry, what do you make of these figures?
I think that those figures are showing both progress and then also probably some organizational management challenges related to processes for advancement in the workforce. So I think it's really encouraging that we're hearing people say that they're getting more job satisfaction and fulfillment. I think it's really important that cybersecurity industry attracts people from all types of educational backgrounds because it is an exciting field. It is something that's interesting. You get to solve really creative and difficult problems on a daily basis. But if at the same time some of those promotion numbers are still showing disparities, then I really think that we need to probably look at organizational process challenges, the reality that I think a number of women self-select out of the workforce, and part of that is due to more traditional gender roles, and need to look at, how we make sure that we continue to be a welcoming environment and industry where people can advance their careers regardless of what stage of their life they're at.
One member of ISC Squared said that in light of these figures, the time has come to move away from traditional mentorship arrangements to actual sponsorship. How do you feel about this, and what role has mentorship played in your career?
I think it's an interesting perspective. I want to be really clear that I think sponsorship is earned, and it should be hard-earned, meaning earned by the quality of the work that you deliver. And in a key part, I think, of growing in one's career, right? But what's required to earn sponsorship, I think, is really strong, capable work and a strong track record. So I would say the best leaders that I've worked for gave me really difficult tasks to achieve and stood behind me to help it, stand by my side to be able to deliver those tasks, but really held me accountable. And so I want to be really clear that when we look at sponsorship, we're saying, you trust someone with a level of responsibility to get a job done. And I think those things are great, but I think they need to be delivered the right way.
On that note, ESET launched the 5th year of its Women in Cybersecurity Scholarship in Australia, providing financial support, access to mentorship, and career growth opportunities for women enrolled in undergraduate or postgraduate IT and cybersecurity degrees. Wendi, this initiative is aimed at strengthening the talent pipeline and driving innovation starting at the college level. How important is that, and do you think it could be even more impactful if that support began earlier, say at the elementary, middle, or high school level?
Yeah, I think it's really important because what you're really highlighting is just making sure we have a big pipeline of talented people coming into the workforce. And today, I think if you talk to middle school and high school, and even to some degree colleges still, students are just not as familiar with cybersecurity and how cool and fun of a career field it is. So to your question, yes, I think the earlier that we start educating students about how great cybersecurity is, that could start in elementary school and start with competitions at the the middle school and high school levels, and then transitioning those into more formal capabilities at the college level, and making sure that at the university level, we've got strong relationships with organizations all throughout, right? Public organizations, private organizations, government that are working on tackling these cybersecurity problems. I think that's really the key to us growing the strongest workforce possible in the future.
That's a great perspective. Wendi, before we go, is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience?
I would just reinforce that the cybersecurity industry needs great talent, and we need it coming from all areas, right? Students coming from across the globe with different skills and different perspectives, students coming from different economic backgrounds, different life experiences. All of those different perspectives are going to help us solve challenges that are so critical to cybersecurity. So whether that's puzzling together the latest pieces from a cybersecurity breach, or whether that's analysis from different data sets throughout the globe, or maybe that's development of new tools that are going to allow organizations to be as secure as possible, we need the best and brightest minds entering this field. And I'd love everyone to know that it really is an exciting field. I think there's no more exciting time to be involved in this field than now. And I think that's a really important message to convey. The new capabilities that AI is providing us, it's allowing us to solve problems that are harder, faster, and then to be able to think about all the creative ways we're going to solve new problems. And so I'd say, we welcome you, and I'm excited to have more of you join this industry and work alongside us.
Wendi, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're so welcome.
To learn more about these stories and others, follow us on X at Women Know Cyber. And to find 50 women in cybersecurity associations and groups to follow, visit womenincyber.com.